Welcome to the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm Ed, along with Justin and Brad. Tonight, we're taking a look at the Elite Eight Division D, and we're going to start with Brad breaking down teams from the draft position 1 and 2.
Yep, and at the one spot, we had Bumskis. I would say he went for a rebuild team out of the one spot. He started with Josh Allen, but he went young, real young after that. He went Mac Jones as his other QB. He actually has Geno Smith as his third, so he'll probably have to make a move to get something else here soon. His running backs are real young. He's got Akers and Stevenson, Carter, Damian Harris, Algier. He's definitely young in that aspect. His receivers are also real young with A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Metcalf, Gabe Davis, Garrett Wilson on the bench, Jalen Tolbert. You could definitely tell he went through the draft and young team to out of the one spot. The 2 pick was BJ Kelso, and he has no 23 first-round pick, but he went – I feel like he drafted a pretty good team. He went Herbert, Rodgers for his QBs. Nothing really behind him, but he can make a move. His running backs, he went Najee, Mixon, Saquon, Melvin Gordon. So I think he'll be all right there, at least for this year. And then he'll be able to make a move if he needs to get rid of one of them and maybe go for a QB or picks in the next draft. His receivers are pretty decent. He went for Lamb, Mike Williams, Juju, Thielen. Not much depth there, but he's okay. I think he's primed to make a run in the next year if he makes a couple trades, I think.
So Jack Powers jumped in at spot 3, and this team is really built around solid quarterbacks. It starts with Mahomes, and then Stafford, and then QB3 with Wentz. So 3 starting quarterbacks, all kind of with different bye weeks. The running back room, Aaron Jones, Kamara, and playoff Lenny, lead the way for a win now running back room to start too. And then the receivers are pretty solid with Allen Robinson and Diggs and Brandon Cooks. And so, a bunch of receivers there that have some pedigree. And the tight ends with Waller, Fant, and Albert O give 3 decent spots for 2 players and could even put one in the flex, throughout the non-bye weeks for those tight ends. I really think this team has a legitimate shot to come out of here and go to the Sweet 16 as one of the top 2 teams in this division. Force Awakens in the 4 spot is really built for the future. It's got players like Pickett and Mills at quarterback. So those are both young guys looking, with a future plan in place. Not going to be able to win this year with those guys, with Pickett not making the start from day one. And then the running back room with Breece Hall and Dameon Pierce, really kind of leads the way with Kenneth Walker, Kenneth Gainwell, and Dillon. Gives it a lot of youth in that running back room and, poised for a breakout next year. The receivers are Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Bateman, and Mooney. So, again, all young guys. And then 5 rookie firsts next year. So this team really should be able to make a really nice run at $3,000 next year in 2023. I think it's really poised to make that jump in 2023 right away with some of the pieces that are in place. Justin's going to take a look at draft position 5 and 6.
Yeah, so draft position 5 is ZBM. Snagged up 5 quarterbacks essentially, but only 2 of them that are starters in Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. I think it probably went with the best available approach with in the running back area with the CMC, Eckler, Chubb. Looking to steer this head, looking to steer this team ahead, with Devontae Adams looking to lead the wide receiver core of Devontae Smith, Alan Lazard, MVS, Rondell Moore. But this tight end core is Zach Ertz, David Njoku, Evan Ingram as the only starting tight ends. But he still has all of his picks, and I think he's probably looking to do a rebuild right here. Could use to some of those aging running backs and get some very good picks in next year's draft. At pick 6, Alex Presser was able to snag up 3 starting quarterbacks and 2 backups. And Prescott, Tannehill, and Tua has a trio of quality tight ends in Pitts, Kittle, and Pat Freiermuth. Starting wide receiver core of Amari Cooper, Rob Woods, Kenny Galladay, Claypool, KJ Osborne, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Is I think really we get running back here with James Cook and Cordell Patterson as the only starting running backs with no first, no second rookie picks next year's draft. It's going to be a little hard for him to compete here soon.
Bojangles jumped in at the 7 spot, and this team has a legit shot just by how the playoffs and the bye weeks worked out to make the playoffs and make some real noise in the playoffs. So the quarterback room features Kyler Murray and Fields, and they have bye weeks on weeks 13 and 14. And the third quarterback is Deshaun Watson, who returns in week 12, just in time to work those bye weeks. So as long as there's health with Kyler and Fields, this could be just exactly the right 3 quarterbacks to really make some serious noise in the playoffs and be able to mix and match to get the best 2. Dalvin Cook, Javonte anchor in the running back room with Penny and Gibson right behind it. So, some real pieces of top 12, top 15 type running backs there to feature those 2. And this team also has the premier handcuff in Alexander Madison. So something happens to Dalvin, he just fires up Madison, and so one less needed piece behind there to make this team be injury proof, if you will. Cooper, Brevin Jordan, Uzoma, Jonnu Smith make the tight end room 4 players for those spots, and they're going to get points every week at a minimum there with a starting tight end on an NFL team. Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, Ayuk, Jacoby Myers, round out the receiver room. So this team really has pieces in place and can withstand some injuries to really get points every week in every spot, which is a real key. And without any draft capital in 2023, it really does have to win this year. But I think it's built with enough balance that it really can, has a legit shot to actually get the whole way to the Final Four. If it hits its stride with those kind of quarterbacks, with Kyler, Fields, and Watson, I feel like that's one of the better quarterback rooms or trios that we've seen across the league. Killer Sam drafted out of the 8th spot, and this team is opting to go with a little bit smaller roster build. Not sure how not using the taxi squad at all is going to work out for this team, and just kind of putting everybody on the active roster. There is some real nice talent in the starting lineup, but beyond that starter talent, it really drops off. So we've got Burrow and Carr at quarterback, but nothing really behind that. And then Jonathan Taylor and Swift at running back, but again, an injury away to having guys like Singletary and Chase Edmonds being the starting backs on this team. And then Tyreek is pretty good at receiver 1, but beyond that, it's a bunch of fringe players. And so, if we just have like a JT injury and it just derails the whole season, or a Burrow injury, it'll just derail the whole season. However, if everybody stays healthy and it runs, like, this team could challenge for some divisional money. If he can get there and get in that top 6 spot with some of those late bye weeks, it could really make a run in week 15, 16, and 17 and get to some cash. Brad's going to break down picks 9 and 10.
Yep. Osculations had pick 9, and I really like the way he went with his team. He has 323 first round picks, 323 second round picks, and his team looks primed to be even pretty good this year. His quarterbacks are his weakest spot. He went Jameis, Matt Ryan, and Zach Wilson, but with 3 next year's first, there's a pretty good shot you end up with at least one QB coming out. His receivers are really deep. He went with Waddle, Pittman, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Amon-Ra, Godwin, Kadarius Toney, Treylon Burks, George Pickens. He's definitely set at receiver for the next couple of years now, so that's one less position he'll probably have to worry about with all of his future picks. And also, honestly, his tight end room isn't that bad with Kmet and Schultz rounding it out. So I think once he makes a couple moves, he'll probably have to trade a couple of his aging running backs like Zeke or something, maybe even get another pick, and he'll be an exciting guy to watch in the next year. The number 10 pick was J.M. Tomey. He also decided to go younger. He went with Lance and Lawrence as his quarterbacks, with Trubisky as his number 3. So he'll be younger. He probably won't win all the quarterback matchups this year, obviously, but he'll be decent. His receivers, he went real young with too. He went Jamar, Debo, McLaurin, Olave, Sky Moore, just a really young core. Same thing with his running backs. He went with Etienne, Mitchell, Miles Sanders, grabbed Brian Robinson in the draft. So I think once he makes a couple moves, probably at the tight end spot, since he has Troutman and Granson as his 2 tight ends, he'll probably be pretty competitive in the next year or 2 as well.
And Justin's going to round us out with pick 11 and pick 12.
At pick 11 here, MF Legend was able to grab 3 starting quarterbacks: Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, and Marcus Mariota. With his only starting running backs, King Henry and Josh Jacobs, they'll need to score a lot of points as his only starting running backs. So he's going to need to make a trade or look to do something there. His starting wide receiver core are Cooper Kupp, Hunter Henry, Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, and backups with Cobb and Marvin Jones. He went really heavy at the tight end position with Goddard, Knox, Higbee, Hayden Hurst, Cameron Brate, and Everett there. With the depth at this tight end, maybe he can use a few of them to get some more depth at running back, and maybe get a better quality receiver by combining some of those people. At pick 12, Johnny Ross was able to grab 4 starting quarterbacks in Brady, Cousins, Jones, and Brissett, with only 2 starting running backs: James Conner, David Henry. He's going to also have to try to make some moves to get some more depth there. The decent wide receiver core: Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Elijah Moore, Christian Kirk, and KJ Hamler. He also went heavy at tight end with Kelsey, Andrews, Harrison Bryant, Donald Parham, and Mo Alley Cox. With his depth at quarterback and wide receiver. Maybe you can pick up, make a few trades to help with this running back core, and maybe even get one of those 2023 first round picks back since he traded one away.
Well, that's Division D in the Elite Eight, the Fantasy Football Clown Show. Justin, Brad, Ed, come back Wednesday for our selections on who is going to go to the Sweet 16 out of this division. That's all for now. We'll catch you next time.